And welcome to the UHW recap. My name is Wolfie Kessel, and alongside to my left is the cute and sassy little Death. How you doing, Death?
Konnichiwa. I'm doing great. How are you, Wolfie?
I'm doing fantastic, and it looks like we're here to give you the recap on what happened on Havoc. So you ready to do this?
Let's do this.
Alrighty, well, last time on Havoc, the first match would put Katie Skits Ramona against sinfully devilish Maxine Darkwatch. Katie and Maxine met at the center of the ring, and immediately Maxine knocked Katie down with a spear, and from early on, she took complete control of the match. Then, as Maxine tried to stay in control, Katie would counter and then gain the upper hand. Katie would try to do some high flying moves to keep Maxine down. Well, however, Katie would some I'm sorry, Maxine would somehow counter. Just as Katie was going for the win, Maxine from out of nowhere was able to take Katie out, and again Maxine placed Katie in the Devil's Embrace and made her submit.
Way to go, Maxine, on that win. In our second match, we had the Black Panther Rosalind take on Jessie Darkwatch. They met in the middle of the ring and shook hands, thus showing good sportsmanship. I always love it when they do that. The match started with Jessie locking up and doing her wrist locks and hammer locks, only for Rosalind to counter them. Uh, from there, the match went back and forth. It was almost like a boxing match, really. There was also some very risky high flying moves and some attacks spilling outside of the ring. Rose, with some of her power power kicks, was gaining the upper hand. However, Jessie, went to the corner and gave some offensive tactics of her own, Rosalind was really ready to for the end when she tried to go for a high flying wrist move, but the last second Jessie got out of the way, which I think was a really big mistake, and managed to hook the Suki's kiss for submission for the win.
Yeah, it was pronounced the Saki's kiss. Yeah. So
Oh, sorry.
hey,
Bad.
it's okay. Don't worry about it. And what happened next? Well, the general manager of UHW, our own Elias Swiftwin, would come out to prepare for that contract signing for the Women's Championship I Quit match that's going to be between Honey Blunts defending against Anarchy Fang that will take place on DNA. Now, Honey would come out first, contract in hand, and Anarchy would come out with both Crimson and Toxic Fang. And as you know, Anarchy would once again be in that strange comatose state that we've been seeing her in the past couple of weeks. But being with excuse me, a little tongue tied here. And of course, being Anarchy's wife, Crimson had full authority to sign on her behalf. So as soon as the contract was signed, Elias was able to grab it, and then the weird thing happened. Anarchy actually started to laugh hysterically, which led Elias to quickly leave out of the ring. And next thing you know, Anarchy just did a rebound DDT on Honey right through the table, and also followed by the Warp Vortex. Well, apparently, this was all a ruse just to have Honey, just to have that rematch with Honey for the title. So really, we didn't expect that.
No, we didn't. That was actually kind of a shocker, but I was glad Elias ran out of the ring as quickly as she did. I mean, that was a smart move on her part. Too bad Honey didn't follow her advice and leave just as quickly. Our third match was pit for the Black Rose, Tara Duffield, in her UHW debut against Crimson Fang. Tara is no stranger to wrestling, wanted to make a name for herself here at the UHW. I don't know why you would make your debut match against a Fang. That's like asking for death, if you ask me. Well, I am death, I should know. Crimson was definitely not going to back down. Crimson and Tara tried everything in the books on one another to up the other as incoming a bit of a dirty tactic. At one point, Crimson even bit Tara's leg to get out of a pin. It almost seemed like Tara was going to win when she climbed up on the top, and unfortunately, Crimson was ready for her though, as she caught her in a sidewalk slam. From there, Crimson apparently tried out her new finisher, which is called the Nightmare's Lullaby. She picked her up, she ends up picking up the victory because of that finisher.
Indeed, indeed she did. And of course, our main event was a non-title match between Vince Easterwood and the International Honored Crown Champion Kieran Darkwatch. Well, Maxine Darkwatch went over to Vince's wife Trisha and allowed her to come over the barricade and stayed by Vince's corner at ringside. With both their quick styles, this match was going to be fast-paced. Vince had the upper hand with a few clotheslines on Kieran, and Vince tried to keep Kieran grounded, but Kieran was able to find ways to fight back. Both their wives, and of course, both their wives at ringside for encouragement. Well, just when Vince had the crossface on Kieran, he tried desperately to crawl to the ropes, and he made it, by the way, and tried to take a breather on the outside. Once he came back into the ring, Kieran surprised Vince with some offensive moves and decided to put Vince in the Soul Death to make Vince tap and actually prepare himself for his submission match with Yancy on DNA.
Now, with Anarchy back to normal, will she be able to make Honey Bun say "I quit"? Will Kieran make Yancy submit, or will we have a new champion crowned? Find out these questions, or the answers to these questions and more, at the United Honored Wrestling Presents DNA tomorrow at 4 p.m. SLT.
That is right, and I'm looking forward to that as probably you are too, Death.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm here every Tuesday, so yes, I look forward to every show. It's like a surprise every time.
Well, it won't, like I said, it won't be a surprise because we know two of the matches. But anyway, we'd like to thank you.
I mean, it's a surprise on who will win. That's the surprise. We may know the two matches that are going to take place, but we do not know who the winners will be.
That's right. Well, on behalf of everybody here at UHW, we'd like to thank you for listening to the recap. I am Wolfie Kessel.
And I'm Death.
All right, we will see you at DNA.
Good night.